Sada Srimad Vrindavan Vasati Lila Parichayo Jagannath Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavatu Me Bhavatu Me Mahabodhistire Kanakaruchire Nilashikare Kanakaruchire Nilashikare Bashan Prasadanta Sahaja Balabhadrana Polina Sanda Subhadra Madhyasta Sakala Kara Seva Vasarado Subhadra Madhyasta Kala Sura Seva Vasarado Jagannath Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavatu Me Yana Patagami Bhavatu Kripa Paravara Sajala Jalada Srini Vruchiro Rama Vani Rama Spuradamala Panke Ruhamukha Surendraya Raja Shruti Gana Shikha Gita Charito Jagannath Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavatu Me Tata Rudho Gachan Pathamilita Badrena Putalai Gachan Patimilita Budeva Patalai Stuti Pradurbhavam Pratipadam Upakarnya Sudaya Daya Sindhu Bandhu Sakala Jagatam Sindhu Sutaya Jagannath Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavatu Me Hara Brahmapida Kuvalaya Dalut Fulanayano Nivashini Ladro Nihita Charano Nanta Shirasi Rasanando Radha Sarasa Vapura Lingana Shuko Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavatu me Navaya Chirajam Nachakanaka Manikya Vibhavam Nayachi Ham Ramyam Sakala Janakamyam Barabadu Sada Kali Kali Pramata Patina Gita Charito Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavatu me Haratvam Samsaram Drutataram Asaram Sarapate Haratvam Prapanam Bitatim Aparam Yadavapate Ahudinenate Nihita Charano Nishchitamidam Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavatu me Nayana Patagami Bhavatu me. Oh, you have it there. So, translation. Sometimes in great happiness, Lord Jagannath, with his flute, makes a loud concert in the groves on the banks of the river Jamuna. He is just like a bumblebee who tastes the beautiful lotus-like faces of the cowherd damsels of Braj, and his lotus feet are worshipped by great personalities such as Lakshmi, Shiva, Brahma, Indra, and Ganesh. May that Jagannath Swami be the object of my vision.
In his left hand, Lord Jagannath holds flute. On his head, he wears peacock feathers. On his lips, he wears the fine pearls of God. From the corner of his eye, he bestows sidelong glances upon his loving devotee, and he always reveals himself through the pastimes and his divine abode on the ground. May that Jagannath Swami be the object of my vision. Beside the shore of the great ocean, within a large palace situated upon the crest of the brilliant golden Vilasan hill, along with his powerful brother Balabhadra, and in the middle of them his sister Subhadra, Lord Jagannath bestowed the opportunity for devotional service upon all but Hare.
On the shore, on the shore of the great ocean, within the large place top of the brilliance gold capital hill, Lord Jagannath resides with his powerful brother Balaramdra and his sister Subhadra, who sits between them. May that Jagannath Swami, who bestows the opportunity for devotional service upon all godly souls, be the object of my vision.
Lord, Lord Jagannath is an ocean of mercy and is always beautiful as a row of blackish rain clouds. He is the storehouse of bliss for Lakshmi and Saraswati, and his face resembles a spotless full-blown lotus. The best of the demigods and sages worship him, and the Upanishads sing his glories. May that Jagannath Swami be the object of my vision.
Fifth one.
When Lord Jagannath moves along the road on his Rath Yatra car, at every, at every step, large assemblies of Brahmanas loudly chant prayers and songs for his pleasure. Hearing their hymns, Lord Jagannath becomes very favorably disposed toward them. He is the ocean of mercy and the true friend of all the worlds. May that Lord Jagannath, along with his consort Lakshmi, who was born from the ocean of nectar, be the object of my vision.
He is the ornament on the head of Lord Brahma, and his eyes are like full-blown lotus petals. He resides on the Nilachala hill, and his lotus feet are placed upon the heads of Anantadev. Lord Jagannath is overwhelmed by the mellows of love, and he becomes joyful in the embracing of the body of Srimati Radharani, which is just like a cool pond. May that Jagannath Swami be the object of my vision.
I do not ask for a kingdom nor for a gold, rubies, and wealth. I do not ask for an eternal and beautiful wife as desired by all men. I simply pray that Jagannath Swami, whose glories are always sung by Lord Shiva, be constant object of my vision.
O Lord of the demigods, please quickly remove this useless material existence which I am undergoing. O Lord of the Yadus, please destroy this vast ocean of sins which has no shore. Alas, this is certain that Lord Jagannath's lotus feet are bestowed upon those who feel themselves fallen and have no shelter in this world but Him. May that Jagannath Swami be the only object of my vision.
Jagannath Swami ki jai.
Jai Jagannath. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Giri Baradari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Giri Baradari. Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Banachari. Jamuna Tira Banachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Kunja Bihari. So now we have Srimad Bhagavatam. And yesterday we chanted the 6th verse in chapter 1, and we didn't finish the purport because it's a very long, extensive purport. It's like 6 pages long or something. So we'll continue today, but first we will chant the sloka again. That's what's on the board, right? The 6th verse. Swamurtya lokalavanya nirmuktya lochanam rinam kirbishtha smaratam chittam padaistan ikshatam kriya swamurtya lokalavanya nirmuktya lochanam rinam girbistha smaratam chittam Padaistan ikshatam kriya. Someone else. Swamurtya lokalavanya. Nirmuktya lochanam rinam. Gibista smaratam chittam. Padaistan ikshatam kriya. Swamurtya lokalavanya. Ihsa lochanam rinam. Gibrista smaranam chittam. Padaistan ikshatam kriya. No one else? Mataji. Swamurtya lokalavanya. Nirmuktya lochanam rinam. Girbista smaratam chitam. Padaistan ikshatam kriya. So the translation for this verse and the seventh verse, 6 and 7, is as follows. Please repeat after me. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the reservoir of all beauty. All beautiful things emanate from him, and his personal form is so attractive that it steals the eyes away from all other objects, which then seem devoid of beauty in comparison to him. When Lord Krishna was on this earth, he attracted the eyes of all people. When Krishna spoke, his words attracted the minds of all who remember them. By seeing the footsteps of Lord Krishna, people became attracted to him, and thus they wanted to offer their bodily activities to the Lord as his followers. In this way, Krishna very easily spread his glories, which are sung throughout the world by the most sublime and essential Vedic verses. Lord Krishna considered that simply by hearing and chanting those glories, conditioned souls born in the future would cross beyond the darkness of ignorance. Being satisfied with this arrangement, he left for his desired destination. So we continue with the purport. So, as explained in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, text 42, Lord Krishna says, Yam imam pushpitam vacham pravadantyan vipaschita vedavada ratha partha nanyarastiti vadina kamatmana swarga para janma karma falapradam kriya vishesha bahulam bhogaishvarya gatim prati. So Krishna says, men of small knowledge are very much attached to the flowery words of the Vedas, which recommend various fruitive activities for elevation to heavenly planets, resultant good birth, power, and so forth. Being desirous of sense gratification and opulent lives, they say there is nothing more than this. Do you know anybody like that? There are many people, so-called followers of the Vedas. That is their goal. They'll perform rituals, jagyas, as Krishna says, being desirous of sense gratification and an opulent life. They think there's nothing more than this. That's why they come to America. Yes. So, on the other hand, certain parts of Vedic literature are specifically meant to award material sense gratification to the conditioned souls. And at the same time, gradually, it conditions them to obeying the Vedic injunctions. The portions of the Vedas that recommend fruitive activities for regulated sense gratification are themselves dangerous, because the living being who engages in such activities becomes easily entangled in the material enjoyment offered in the Vedas, and they neglect the ultimate purpose of the Vedas. The ultimate purpose of the Vedic literatures is to bring the living entities back to their original consciousness, which is Krishna consciousness, in which he acts as an eternal servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By rendering service to the Lord, the living entity can enjoy unlimited spiritual bliss in the association of the Lord in his own kingdom. Thus, one who seriously desires to advance in Krishna consciousness should specifically hear the Vedic literature that deals with pure devotional service to the Lord. One should hear from those who are highly advanced in Krishna consciousness and avoid interpretations that stimulate materialistic desires for sense enjoyment. So, Srila Prabhupada had specifically out of all these Vedic literatures that are available, he chose to translate the Srimad Bhagavatam and give them to us, give them to the world. Knowing, because he knew that in other Vedic texts, other Puranas and so on, this recommending fruitive activities to make advancement to the heavenly planets and enjoy material comforts, he knew that he didn't want to give us that. So he specifically chose the Srimad Bhagavatam because, as the Bhagavatam says, it is Amalam Purana. It's a spotless Purana, and there is no Karma Kanda recommendations in the Srimad Bhagavatam. It deals specifically with devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And we are recommended to hear that part of the Vedas from the mouth of advanced devotees, from Vaishnavas, who have no interest in sense gratification. Continue with the purport. When the tiny living entity is finally able to see the difference between the temporary affairs of this world and the transcendental activities of Lord Trivikram. Trivikram is another name for Vamana, right? Vamana, he makes wonderful steps. 3 steps with 2 steps he covered the whole universe. He had asked Bali Maharaj, and Bali Maharaj had offered him. The Lord appeared as a dwarf, and he offered him some charity. Whatever you want, I can give you. But the Lord says, just give me 3 steps of land. That's all I want. Anyone who is not satisfied with 3 steps of land, he will not be satisfied even if he gets the whole world. So, he is known as Trivikram. So Krishna the devotee devotes himself to the Lord and removes from his heart the dark covering of matter, no longer desiring sense gratification, which is enjoyed under the 2 headings of sin and piety. In other words, although people within this world are considered sinful or pious, on the material platform, both sin and piety are performed for one's personal sense gratification. If one can understand that his real happiness lies in giving pleasure to Krishna, then Lord Krishna takes such a fortunate living being back home, back to Godhead, to his own abode, which is called Goloka Vrindavan. According to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the Lord first gives a sincere soul the opportunity to hear about his pastimes. And when the devotee has advanced in his spontaneous attraction to such narrations, the Lord gives him the opportunity to take part in his spiritual pastimes as they appear within this world. By taking part in the pastimes of the Lord within a particular universe, the living being becomes completely detached from the material world. And ultimately, the Lord brings him to his personal abode in the spiritual sky. So, the devotee, before going to the spiritual sky, Golokamana, he is promoted to a place somewhere in the universe. Somewhere in a particular universe where the pastimes of the Lord are going on, and he gets to participate in serving the Lord. And then when he becomes completely detached from anything, any sense gratification in this world, then the Lord ultimately awards him the opportunity to go back home, back to Godhead. But, as it's stated here, foolish people cannot understand this substantial benefit offered by the Lord. But Lord Krishna asks for the benefit of such foolish people by saving them from their absorption in the temporary world of false enjoyment. The Lord does this by personally displaying His own superlative transcendental beauty, His transcendental words, like Bhagavad Gita, and His transcendental activities. Srila Jiva Goswami has pointed out that the words in this verse, Tamo Nyayat Rishyanti, indicate that although Lord Krishna appeared 5,000 years ago, one who hears and chants about the activities, forms, and words of the Lord will get exactly the same benefit as those who personally experience these things as contemporaries of the Lord. In other words, the devotee will also cross over the darkness of material existence and achieve the destination, and will achieve the Lord's abode. Thus, Srila Jiva Goswami concludes that if such an exalted destination is available to all living beings, it must certainly have been awarded to the Yadavas, Krishna's family members, because they were all personal associates of the Lord. So all the members of the Yadu dynasty, they were promoted. It is stated in this verse that by his beauty, Krishna stole away the vision of people who saw him. Krishna's speaking was so attractive that those who heard him became speechless. Since generally those who cannot speak are also deaf, the Lord's words stole away the ears of those who heard it. They wouldn't hear anything else. And since they were no longer interested in hearing sounds other than the Lord speaking, by displaying the beauty of his footsteps, Krishna stole away from those who saw them the power to perform materialistic activities. And thus, by his appearance in this world, Krishna took away the senses of mankind. In other words, he made people blind, deaf, dumb, and mad, otherwise invalid. Therefore, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur asks, since he took away everything that people possessed, who would properly call him merciful? Rather, he is just a thief. This name, Hari, Krishna is addressed as Hari, is a favorite name of Krishna. The residents of Vrindavan used to call him as Hari, because he takes away everything. Stole the hearts of the gopis, of all the residents of Vrindavan, and therefore some people say, oh, he's a thief. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also points out that although Krishna gives liberation to the demons by destroying them, to those who were attracted to him, Krishna gives pure love of God and drown them in the ocean of his own beauty. Thus, Krishna is not like a person who gives charity without discrimination. And Krishna is so merciful that not only did he give the highest benediction to the inhabitants of the earth, but he empowered great saintly persons such as Vyasdeva to describe his pastimes in beautiful poetic verses. Thus, people born on this earth in the future could easily cross over the ocean of birth and death by hearing those glories, which are compared to a strong boat. In fact, those of us who are now enjoying the glories of Krishna through the transparent medium of the Bhaktivedanta purports, the Srimad Bhagavatam, by the mercy of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, are the fortunate recipients of the mercy of Krishna, who was merciful even to persons yet to be born. So, Krishna's mercy is for everyone. Those who didn't get the opportunity to see him when he appeared 5,000 years ago, those who didn't get the opportunity that opportunity is still available because Krishna empowered Vyas to compile the Vedic literatures and specifically among the Vedas, Srimad Bhagavatam, because in Srimad Bhagavatam, the glories of Krishna are presented so wonderfully. So Prabhupada took the time and trouble to translate these books and arrange for them to be published, so that even long after he's gone, and even those of us who are here now, after we're gone, those books will still be available. People who have them will, their children or descendants, will be able to read Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna book. In this way, Krishna is so merciful that he is arranging so that everyone can come back home, can be delivered. This purport is so long, it's unlike Srila Prabhupada's purports. I don't know why they thought they needed to go on so long. I mean, there are few Prabhupada's purports in the first canto where they're longer than most, but this is like too much. Quoting from the Amarakosh dictionary, this is a Sanskrit dictionary, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has stated, Padam Vyavasita Shrana Stana Lakshmyangrihi Vastusu. The possible definition for Padam are, quote, that which has been decided, or the place of deliverance, or fortune, or foot, or object. Thus he translates the word Padam as also meaning Vyavasita, that which has been decided. In other words, the statement Agat Sopadam Ishvara indicates that not only Krishna went to his abode, but that Krishna realized his determined desire. If we say that Krishna returned to his eternal abode, we imply that Krishna had been absent from his abode and was now returning. Therefore, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur points out that it is incorrect to say, in a normal sense, that Krishna went back to his own abode. According to the Brahma Samhita, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is always present in his eternal abode. It is said that he never takes a step outside of Vrindavan. So it's not that the spiritual world became vacant when everybody came to earth. No. By his causeless mercy, he also manifests himself from time to time within the material world. In other words, God is all-pervading. Even when he is present before us, he is simultaneously in his abode. The ordinary jiva soul, like us, are not all pervading like the Supersoul. And therefore, by his presence in the material world, he is absent from the spiritual world. We are in the material world, no doubt. And we are not absent, we're not in the spiritual world. Or we're not in Vaikuntha. However, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is always, he is all pervading, and therefore Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur translates the words Agat Swam Padam to mean that Krishna achieved exactly what he desired. The Lord is all-pervading and self-sufficient in fulfilling his perfect desires. His appearance and disappearance in this world should never be compared to ordinary material activities. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Janma karma chame divyam evam yoveti tatpatha. That his activities, his birth, activities and his leaving the world is all divyam, is all transcendental. And if we can understand that, then we become qualified to go back home. Because sometimes in speaking to people, not who are not devoted, I tell them, God is not dead. He's not like stone. He is ever existing, and he has his abode, but sometimes he comes to this world, incarnates as different in many different incarnations. Actually, Krishna even incarnates in all the species of life. Because all souls he claims them as his parts and parcels. So he cares for everyone. He wants everyone to come back home. Because he knows we will not be happy here. We will not be happy. No amount of material things can make us happy. Because we are not material. We are completely spiritual, but on account of associating with the material energy, our consciousness has been polluted, and we identify ourselves as matter. We think, I am American, I am Indian, I am black, I am white, so many things. But this is all artificial. Our real identity is, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Jive Swarupai Krishnera Nityadas. We are eternally servants of Krishna. That is our position. That is our identity. And we can hear this now, that is our identity, but we have to practice. While we're in the material world, here is where we practice. Practice being a devotee by chanting Hare Krishna, so that when we become purified, then we become qualified to go back home. We cannot go, as they say, You cannot go there with your shoes on. You know? I always remember there's a passage in the Bible where, who was it? Moses, I believe, went climb up a mountain and God spoke to him and gave him the 10 Commandments. But when he went up on the mountain, there was a burning bush fire, and from there the voice was said. And the first thing the voice of God told him was, take off your shoes. You're standing on holy ground. So, we can't go with our shoes on. I mean, we have to leave everything behind. All that we've accumulated and all the misconceptions that we have. We think, I am this kind of person, I'm that kind of person. You hear this all the time. People say, you don't understand me. I am this kind of person. And he said, look, that is a covering. That's not who you are. You know? We are eternal, and we are eternally servants of Krishna. But right now, we don't act like that. We don't think like that. We identify with this body, this mind, our senses. So, we have to become, our existence, whole existence has to be purified. And that is done by the gift of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitodarpanam Arjunam, Bhava Mahadavagni Nivarpanam. We can purify our existence and become free from all the misconceptions. We've been in this material world for a long time. No one can say when, how long we've been here. This is not our first birth. It could be our last, but it'll take some. We have to practice chanting and serving. This opportunity has been given. Srila Prabhupada created this movement, the temples. Why did he go through the trouble of establishing temples all over the world? It's to give the conditioned souls a chance to make real progress. So, those who live in the temples, who are engaged in, take the opportunity to render service, they are fortunate. Vishwanath Chakravarti continued the purport. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has quoted a statement by Uddhava at the beginning of the 3rd canto of Bhagavatam, where Uddhava compares the disappearance of Lord Krishna to the setting of the sun. In this verse, in the purport to this verse, Srila Prabhupada has written that the comparison of Krishna to the sun is very appropriate. As soon as the sun sets, darkness automatically appears. But the darkness experienced by the common man does not affect the sun. Either at the time of sunrise or sunset. So Lord Krishna's appearance and disappearance are exactly like that of the sun. He appears and disappears in innumerable universes, and as long as he is present in a particular universe, there is all transcendental light in that universe. But the universe from which he passes away is then put into darkness. His pastimes, however, are everlasting. The Lord is always present in some universe, just as the sun is present either in India or America, wherever. But when the sun is present, say in India, then the American land is in darkness, right? If you call somebody in the morning in India, I made that mistake many times without checking to see what time it is. And the devotee would answer the phone and said, "You know what time it is?" And I said, "No." He says, "It's after midnight here." So while we're now experiencing light in America, in another country, in India, it's darkness, it's night. So Srila Jiva Goswami, he has also cited a verse. Let's have one paragraph left. Srila Jiva Goswami has cited a verse from the end of this 11th canto that further clarifies that the abode of the Lord is as eternal as the Lord himself. That is called Sanatan Dham. The Lord is Sanatan, eternal, and his abode is Sanatan Dham. And the process by which we can go to the Sanatan Dham is known as Sanatan Dharma. So this is we are here to learn how to act properly. Then there's a quote, says, "The ocean immediately swallowed Dwarka." This is a verse from later on in the 11th canto. "The ocean immediately swallowed Dwarka." Dwarka is Krishna's kingdom as a prince. And it says, the verse says, "O Maharaj, taken away the Lord's personal abode, which the Lord had abandoned. The Supreme Lord Madhusudan is always present in Dwarka, which merely by being remembered takes away everything unfavorable. It is the most auspicious of auspicious places." So, just as the sun appears to be swallowed by the night, Krishna or his abode or his dynasty seems to disappear. But actually the Lord and all of his paraphernalia, including his abode, his dynasty is the Yadus, they are all eternal, in the same way as the sun is always in the sky. Srila Prabhupada says in this connection that as the sun appears in the morning and gradually rises to the meridian, and then again sets in one hemisphere while simultaneously rising in another hemisphere, so also Lord Krishna's disappearance in one universe and the beginning of his different pastimes in another universe takes place simultaneously. As soon as one pastime is finished here, it is manifested in another universe. And thus, his Nitya Leela, or his eternal pastimes, are always going on without ending. So, we shall stop there. We finish that purport finally. Does anyone, we have a little time, a couple of minutes, anyone has a question or comment they want to make? Oh, can you speak a little louder? Wait,
Hare Krishna.
I can't hear you.
So that paragraph where it says, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the Lord, according to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the Lord first gives a sincere soul the opportunity to hear about his pastimes. When the devotee has advanced in his spontaneous attraction to such narrations, the Lord gives him the opportunity to take part in his spiritual pastimes as they appear within this world. By taking part in the pastimes of the Lord within a particular universe, the living being becomes completely detached from the material world, and ultimately the Lord brings him to his personal abode in the spiritual sky. So my question is this kind of like a Ajamil pastime? I mean, of course it's a bit different, but he chanted the name of the Lord, and then the Vishnu Dutas took him, but he took some time.
Yeah, he wasn't yet sufficiently purified to go back to the spiritual world. So we have to leave this place sooner or later. We will not be, but it requires us, we have to purify our existence. And that is done most effectively by chanting Hare Krishna. Lord Chaitanya would cite a verse from the Brihan Naradiya Purana. Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam, kalu nasteva gatiranyatha. In the age of Kali, there is no other way. This is it, to chant. And that's why the Lord himself came and inaugurated this movement. He himself was chanting and encouraged. He got thousands and thousands of people, of course, in India. He traveled across India from, getting people to take up the chanting. And but he desired, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually desired that it goes everywhere, in every town and village. But it took some 500 years after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left that our Prabhupada actually left India and came out to do that work. And so he started it. But it's not finished. There's still a lot of service to do. There's still preaching to be done. But he got it going, He got it going, and he left some service for us to do. Prabhupada was once asked by, I believe it was Vishnu Jan Swami. He said, he read in somewhere Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, he's leaving, but his work is not finished. And he wanted to understand, so he asked Prabhupada, how do I understand this statement by Bhaktivinoda Thakur? And Prabhupada said, He could have finished everything. He was a Mahabhagavata, great. But he left some service for us to do. So there is, it hasn't, we're still it's, if you're not sure, it doesn't take much to just, if you look at the news and you see what's happening in the world, you'll know that it's Kali Yuga, you know. So we cannot sit back on our laurels and think that everything's done. No, we still have to preach. Prabhupada by his example, he preached up until the very end of his life, non-stop. So that is our task. Okay, we shall stop there for today. Grantaraj, Srimad Bhagavatam. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda